My wife loves me but doesn't desire me. What should I do? End quote. It's perfectly normal for a wife to love her husband but sometimes not feel sexually attracted to him. While desire cannot be negotiated, it can absolutely be influenced with some tips we will share. There could be any number of reasons for this, such as a lack of emotional connection, mismatched libido levels, or unresolved anger or resentment. If you're in this situation, it's important to talk to your spouse and figure out what's causing the disconnect. You may need to see a therapist. To help address the underlying issues, you can start with a family therapist.
Here are some very important lessons that we will cover to give you a full understanding and tactful things you can do to rekindle things. 1. The meaning of desire in a marriage. 2. What is the difference between love and sexual desire? 3. What does it mean when my wife loves me but doesn't desire me? 4. How does this affect a marriage and a relationship? 5. Tips for creating sexual desires in your spouse again. 6. The role of a sex therapist, and more.
Open quote. My wife never touches me anymore. She used to be so affectionate, but now she seems distant and removed. I don't know what I did wrong, but I fear that she may be cheating on me or is no longer interested in me. I don't know how much longer I can take this. And close quote. This kind of problem always starts with a wife losing interest. So let's dive right in.
3 signs that your wife is losing interest. It can be difficult to tell if your wife is losing interest in you. However, there are 3 of many other signs you can look out for. Sign number 3. One common sign is if your wife starts to avoid sexual intimacy. Sign number 2. If she stops taking care of herself physically or stop dressing up for you, this can also be a sign that she's losing interest. Sign number 1. Another sign is if she becomes critical or negative towards you. If your wife shows any of these signs, it might be time to talk to her about your concerns and see if there's anything wrong.
All right, the meaning of desire in a marriage. When we think of the word desire, we often think of our sex life in a marriage and sexual desire. However, desire is much more than that. Desire is a yearning or craving for something, someone, or the presence of someone. It can be a strong feeling or emotion that motivates us to take further desired action, of course. In a marriage, it is important for both spouses to feel desired by the other. This can be accomplished in many ways, such as through words of affirmation, acts of service, and physical touch. When both spouses feel desired, it builds intimacy and strengthens the bond between them. Sexual desire is an important part of a marriage, but it's not the only type of desire that matters. Spouses should strive to meet each other's non-sexual desires as well in order to create a fulfilling and lasting relationship. That alone can help in boosting and or sustaining sexual desires in the marriage.
What is the difference between love and sexual desire? When we think of love, we often think of feelings of warmth, happiness, and affection. Love is a deep emotional connection that spouses have with each other. It is a feeling of being drawn to someone, of wanting to be close to them and wanting to make them happy. In marriage, however, love is not just a feeling of lust or passion. It is much more than that because
a long-term relationship between two human beings are involved. Love is action, patient, kind, and 50 million other things. Sexual desire, on the other hand, is a physical attraction that spouses feel for each other. It's a desire to be intimate with someone, to touch them, and to be touched by them. Sexual desire can often be confused with love, but they are 2 separate things. Sexual desire was traditionally not necessary in a marriage, but love was as a function of duty and responsibility. However, things have changed.
Okay.
And it will hurt your marriage if you dare attempt to discount the importance of feelings in modern day marriage.
There is a strong relationship between a couple's sex life, love, and sexual desire. A couple's sex life is often seen as a foundation of a healthy relationship. Love is often thought of as the emotional connection that couples share and is what keeps them together over time. Sexual desire, on the other hand, is what motivates people to have sex and is often seen as a physical manifestation of love.
Yep. What does it mean when my wife loves me but doesn't desire me? Quote unquote. When a wife loves her husband but does not desire him, it can be a sign that there is something wrong in the underlying relationship. It may be that the wife is no longer attracted to her husband, or that she's unhappy with the way things are going in the relationship. Honestly, even with herself sometimes. If this is the case, then it's important for the husband to talk to his wife and find out what is wrong. He should express his love for her and try to find out a way to fix whatever is causing the problem. By the way, she might not be able to explain this in words.
How does intimacy affect a marriage relationship? Your sex life is an important part of intimacy in your marriage and the underlying relationship. It helps to keep the spark alive and allows couples to feel close to each other. When there is not healthy level of intimacy, which is deeper than sex, everything else starts to feel wrong.
Yeah. Your sex life can take many different forms, such as talking and touching. Guess what I'm doing right now underneath? I'm just kidding. If one partner feels that they're not being desired by the other, it can be a blow to their self-esteem. It can make them feel like they're not good enough and that they are not wanted. This can lead to a lot of emotional pain and conflict, and even emotional and full-blown, infidelity.
There are many ways to improve your sex life in a marriage relationship. Couples can talk about their needs and desires, spend time together, touch each other more often, and be open and honest with each other. But that's usually not enough because it would most likely take one person to lead the dance.
Yep.
If you're struggling with this issue, please seek help from a therapist, coach, or counselor. They can assist you in walking through these feelings and improving your relationship.
Yes. So here are 6 tips for creating a fulfilling sex life with your spouse again. You see, there are many ways to rekindle your sex life in your relationship with your spouse. Here are a few tips. 1. Talk openly and honestly about your feelings and desires. But here's the caveat, with respect to your partner's feelings. 2. Make time for each other and carve out special moments just for the two of you. 3. Be affectionate and touch each other often. 4. Experiment and be playful in the bedroom. 5. Communicate during sex and let your partner know what you enjoy. 6. Connect emotionally as well as physically.
The role of a sex therapist. A sex therapist's role is to help couples or individuals overcome issues that are preventing them from enjoying a healthy and fulfilling sex life. They can help with a range of issues such as low libido, performance anxiety, erectile dysfunction, and more. Sex therapists typically use a mix of therapies such as
cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and psychoeducation, and many other things. In conclusion, it's normal for women to, sometimes lose desire. It happens. This doesn't mean that the love is gone. Just the desire may be absent in a moment, right? In multiple moments. There are many things you can do to help boost your wife's desire and attraction towards you again. By leveraging some of the simple tips we've covered, you can rekindle the flame and have a more fulfilling marriage. Here's a last bonus tip for you. If you're always engaged in arguments that you may have considered a harmless debate, that can sure create lower interest and desire from your spouse. It can get weird from time to time.